Hey everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome to my brand new channel, Carrie's Thrifty Farmhouse. If you like decorating on a budget, you're in the right place. I'd like to start out by thanking all my existing subscribers, and if this is your first time stopping by, be sure to drop me a comment below so we can connect. For today's project, I'm taking an old hat box I snagged at the thrift store and creating a beautiful centerpiece and a sign that are perfect for the upcoming holiday season. If you like this video, I would love for you to comment, like, and hopefully subscribe so I can grow my channel. So with all the formalities out of the way, let's get started. I wanted my centerpiece to be a dark gray color, so I'm starting out with a coat of gray chalk paint. I like to use chalk paint because it adheres to practically anything and is less likely to chip off. It's also a little thicker than regular acrylic craft paint, so it takes fewer coats to get good coverage. Walmart carries a really affordable version of chalk paint by their Waverly brand, and today I'm using the color Elephant. I'll be sure to provide a list of all my materials in the description box below. Next, I'm using a dry brush and lightly brushing black acrylic craft paint sparingly around the box. You can apply as much or as little as you want to achieve your desired look, and you really can't go wrong here. If you put too much on, you can just go back to the original chalk paint and go back over it. I put a little extra around the rim of the box to give it a weathered look. Now I'm mixing the original elephant color with the black craft paint I have left on my plate and continuing to dry brush sparingly around the box. You don't have to do this step, but I think it adds a little more dimension and allows me to blend in the areas where maybe I put a little too much black paint on. Now it's time for the filler, and you're probably wondering why I'm showing this pitiful little tree here. Well, this little guy is a great example of how it's important to see past current condition when you're thrifting. I snagged him for just $2, but with a pair of wire cutters, I was able to clip 68 evergreen pieces that are way nicer looking than the sprigs you can get at the Dollar Tree. I only needed about 12 sprigs for the centerpiece, so I have a whole bag of clippings to use in many different projects this winter. I'm also going to hold on to the leftover pole and base. I might be able to use them in a future project. I always add crumpled up newspaper or magazine to fill the bottom of a box. Then I'm adding a small cut of burlap as a base to my filler. Next goes in some of those sprigs from my salvaged tree. And as you can see, I'm curving a few of the sprigs so they can hang over the edge of the box. Next, it's time to add additional filler. I like to mix lighter and darker colors and different textures too. Here I'm using one lamb's ear sprig that I got for 97 cents at Walmart and cut it into pieces. I just love the soft lamb's ear mixed in with the pine needles. Next, I'm adding in some darker eucalyptus leaves. I also got these at Walmart, 97 cents for a sprig, which again I've cut into a few pieces. We got the pine cones from our yard. If you plan to do the same, make sure you bake them for 45 minutes at 200 degrees to kill any mites or bacteria. Lastly, I'm adding a few flowers from a Dollar Tree floral pick to complete the look. And here's the final product. I just love how this turned out. It'll be great for the holiday season, but because it's not particularly Christmassy, it could stick around for the whole winter. We also live in Ohio, so I could see the gray fitting into a Buckeye-themed centerpiece in different seasons. Now on to the second part of the project, the hat box lid, which I decided to turn into a sign. I lost some of my footage, but I again used chalk paint, this time in a red color called Imperial by Folk Art. I wanted good coverage on this, so I did 2 coats. Now I'm using the same dry brush technique I used on the box to add black acrylic craft paint to the lid. This adds dimension and gives it a distressed look. I added some extra around the perimeter where it would naturally get more wear. Now here's the fun part, adding the letters. I experimented with different fonts in our Microsoft Word program and liked this one that looks like stencils the best. I knew I wanted the letters to overlap a bit and just experimented until I achieved the look I wanted. Then I taped the letters together so that they wouldn't shift around while I was laying the carbon paper underneath. Once the carbon paper is underneath, I use a pencil to go over the letters. My favorite brand of carbon paper is from a company called Arteza. You can probably find carbon paper for a little less at any craft store, but as you can see, I'm left-handed and I tend to drag my hand a little, and this paper is the first one that I found that doesn't leave any smudges. And I don't know about anyone else, but I find it extremely satisfying to lift the carbon paper and see perfectly precise outlines underneath. Now it's time to fill in the letters. I'm just using white acrylic craft paint, but you can really use anything you have on hand. I didn't want it to be stark white, so I mixed in a small amount of light yellow paint. The color is Toasted Marshmallow from Apple Barrel Paints. This color came in a set of 12 that I got on clearance from Walmart for $5, or you can buy it individually for about 50 cents. It took 2 coats to get good coverage. Because the letters overlap a bit, I'm defining the edges with the yellow toasted marshmallow color. It's important to outline with the yellow before you fill in with the white, at least in the areas where the letters overlap, so that you don't end up with a big white blob. I've definitely learned the hard way in some previous projects. I decided at the last minute to add a quick coat of Waverly clear wax to the project. It gives the piece a nice deep color and adds a protective layer, so hopefully we can display it for many years to come. I'm just brushing it on and wiping it off with a good lint-free towel. I think in this case I'm using an old burp cloth, but I save old t-shirts for this kind of thing as well. So now I'm adding a little flourish at the top. I'm using some sprigs from my salvaged tree, a burlap bow, and some bells, but I'm experimenting with placement. I was trying to decide if they should go on the side, which is really the top of the sign, or if they should go on the front. I decided I liked the front better, so I'm gluing the sprigs and bow down with hot glue. Then I used floral wire to attach the bells. And here is the final sign. I love it so much, and it will fit perfectly with the rustic reds and whites we use in our Christmas decor. I hope these projects inspired you to get crafty, and especially to see past an item's current state and instead see the many possibilities. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification button so you will be notified when I upload a new video. The Christmas season is just around the corner and I have several projects in the works that I know you will love, so keep your eye out. See you next time. Bye!